everybody, it's Patricia and welcome back to my channel. It is time for our Chatty Get Ready with me. So let's get started. If you are new to my channel, what I do is I put on my makeup, and a lot of you say you put on your makeup right along with me, and I just chat about all kinds of things. Sometimes a little bit about makeup, but it's more about what's going on in my life. So let's get started. I'm already cleansed and primed. So I'm going to start with my foundation. I'm currently mixing the Revlon Age Defying and my Makeup Forever HD. My HD is in 160, which I believe is golden beige, and the Revlon is in natural beige. So I'll mix these two together, and I'm trying to use them up. Two, my Makeup Forever is a little dark. I must have been really tan when I bought that one. And I know I've worn it for a while now, but basically just in the summer. But, yeah. Let me get my brush. I'm waiting to hear back from the guy about the land. If you've been with me, you know, we're probably going to sell a lot of our land. And we've just been kind of going back and forth. I gave him an offer, or I gave him how much we wanted for it. And he came back with an offer that was not satisfactory. So then I asked him, he was supposed to have gotten a friend to survey it. And he did, but the guy didn't leave any markers. So I don't know where the guy thinks the line is. So he said, well, if we come to an agreement and get a contract signed, then we'll mark it off. And I'm like, no. I need to know where the line is before we talk money, continue discussing money. Because if it's not where I think it is, according to my real estate agent, who's my sister-in-law, if it's not where she thinks it is, where she showed me, then deal's off. So I have been waiting. This guy was supposed to get me a satellite photo of the property, and it would have a grid over it showing where approximately the line will be. That's what I'm waiting on. I was supposed to have already had it by now. That's what I'm waiting on. So will I sell that property? I don't really know. Deep down, I hope so, because I've already got plans. I need a new roof. I want a new deck. And then going from there, I want new flooring, especially in my living room and dining room. If you don't know, I inherited my mother's house when my mother passed away. So we moved into her house because absolutely no mortgage. I have no mortgage. And that's what affords me to be able to work from home, even though it's not as lucrative as I thought it would be, but enough about that. But I can be a stay-home mom with my son and homeschool him. And, yeah. So, I would like to get some stuff done to this house. So selling that property would be great. That looks nice. It would be fantastic. That's where we currently are right now. I'm waiting to see, and then I'm going to counter offer because his offer was way too low. I know how low I want to go, and I'm not going to counter with that number. We're going to haggle a little bit. Or, if he doesn't meet the number I think, then I'm just going to tell him the deal's off, and we'll see what happens. Because, truthfully, I don't have to sell it. I don't have to. So, I kind of got the upper hand. But he doesn't have to buy it either. I mean, But let me tell you, Asheville is growing. Everywhere you look, they're sticking a bunch of new houses. Where one house used to be, now there's 5. And it's not just next to me. I've seen in other neighborhoods not far from me where one house used to be. Now there's 5 all clustered around. And I'm like, a lot of them are rentals. And that's what this will be. He wants that, and he's going to make it a rental property. Asheville's full of rental. We have apartment complexes going up everywhere. people are renting. It's expensive to live in Asheville. For what it cost us here, we couldn't have afforded to live here. We lived in a different county. I'm just lucky my parents bought this way before Asheville was hip, you know? And we're in a great neighborhood. So, thank you, Dad. Thank you to my dad. Because he left me everything. So that helped me out a lot. And one day I'll tell you the story of my family. It's hard to talk about for me. I don't have any brothers and sisters who are full brothers and sisters. I'm the only child of my mom and dad. And I have so many siblings. But because my mom and dad bought this house together, that's how I got this house. Because it was only, I guess they thought only fair. Because I was their only child, I got this house. And that's how I got it. So, and it did cause a rift in some of my siblings. Well, one of them in particular. But she passed away. She's no longer with us, so. But she and I did not have a good relationship. She was 16 years older than me. And we didn't have a good relationship. She would tell me how I ruined her life being born and stuff like that, so. But she passed away before my mother did, so I didn't have any issues. I didn't have to deal with her with the whole inheritance thing, but she was already gearing up. She was planning on doing something, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole different story, and like I said, I really don't want to get into the dynamics of my family. For the most part, the rest of my family and I get along great. There's no issues. And the sister I'm talking about is not the one who recently passed away. The sister I'm talking about passed away about 8 years ago. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Maybe more than 8 years ago. Maybe close to 10. It's been a long time. And the way the siblings all work out, I'm sure it was difficult. More difficult for some than others. Yes, my life story's crazy. You wouldn't believe it if I told you. You'd need a scorecard to keep up. I'd have to draw a diagram for you. But I'm thankful for all my family. And that's why I did the Ancestry DNA test. I really expected to find more siblings. I did. I haven't, but I did. I do have a cousin. They're telling me I have a cousin, and a first cousin. I don't know who she is. But my father and my uncle, his brother, were very similar in their lifestyle. And how they were very handsome and how friendly they were. I'm just going to leave it at that. So I think the cousin is probably from my uncle. I haven't contacted the person. I might one day, but I haven't really contacted him. I don't think I'm not really interested in contacting them right now. Just put it that way. I have stories I could tell you all that would just amazing stories of my family. Sad. A bit funny, but mainly sad. I'll tell you one. My uncle. When my uncle passed away, my dad was very ill. He was dying of cancer. My uncle passed away of cancer. So my mother and I went to the funeral, and we sat with my aunt in the family area. And on the other side sat a whole row of women that my uncle had dated while he was married to my aunt. Yeah. And at my own father's funeral, I learned years later that my dad's mistress was there. Yeah, that's the kind of life I had. Didn't have the best childhood. I will tell you that. I did have the best childhood. I had a fantastic childhood because I didn't know any of this stuff was going on. My dad was such a great dad. He was an awesome dad to me. And I don't know how he was to my siblings. We all were raised so totally different. But to me, he was a great dad. And I learned a lot of stuff years after he passed away. Because I haven't done my brows yet, but I'm going to put my primer on. Because I found out stuff later. I found out stuff from sisters. I found out stuff from my mom. Not a whole lot from my mom, but some from my older siblings I did find out. So, you know, my siblings and I range. My oldest sibling is my one brother, and he was 22 when I was born and in Vietnam. And I didn't actually meet him till I was 4. And unfortunately, I am the only family he has left. And he has a lot of issues. And I just hinted a little bit about my brother. And I'm not going to talk about his issues. But then I have all these sisters. The only sister I shared with my mother, she has passed away, the one I told you about just a little while ago. The rest of my sisters are all on my father's side. And let's just say they all don't have the same mother. It's crazy. But somehow we've made this family work, and we've become for the most part, a tight unit. Not everyone's involved. I have a sister who is not as accepting of the other sisters. She is of me, because we were more raised together. But of the other sisters, she's not as accepting. So there is not a photo of my entire family, all of my siblings together. Never was, never will be. It's crazy. Family dynamics. And my husband comes from a family with no divorce, 2 kids, what you would call a normal family. And I am so far from a normal family. So far from it. So, let's change the subject. Let's stop talking about family and move on to something else. To my eyes. I'm using the Tarte Pro palette today. I've already played with my new palettes, and I'm not tired of them, but I figure you're probably tired of seeing them. You know what I mean? So it's time to move on to different palettes, or to something different. Alright. Well, I'm going to start with vintage because I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. You know me, I don't plan these really. I don't really plan them. I had a plan. I was going to do a video, and I am going to do it. It may show up next week or the week after. It's getting really close to vacation. So I'm going to record and have some stuff scheduled while I'm gone. But I'm going to do Marilyn Monroe's makeup. And I actually started filming it. And I got to the part to put the fake eyelashes on. I was going to use the BoxyCharm lashes, and my glue was dried up. So I'll just have to wait and get some more eyelash glue, and then I'll film that. So it probably won't be up next week. I don't know, it might. But if not, the following week. I'll have that up for you. I'm trying to get everything scheduled and planned, and yeah. And I may take some days off. Don't be surprised if there's days without videos. I don't know how much I can pre-record and get up for you. So we'll just see. We'll just play it by ear. If not, I might do a live stream. I've been talking about doing a live stream. I just have to work out the logistics of that one. Let's see. I'm going to go into Mod. That's that color right there. And use it as a transition shade. Oh, let me tell you. I've got some good friends who are musicians. They have a band called Eyeliner Royale. And their drummer, I've known the longest, Matt. He's the drummer. I have known Matt for years. Matt has slept on my sofa so many nights after a gig. So his band, he's the drummer of the band. And I know the whole band. I'm friends with all of them. They have a new CD coming out. I'm not sure when the CD drops. The single is now available on iTunes or Amazon. And the single's called I Know. And I'm going to put a link down below to their video, to their YouTube of the single. But the video is dropping one day this week. I'm not sure when. Is it today? It may be today. I can't wait to see the video. The song's amazing. I have played the song over and over till I know it by heart now. And anyway, I just like to introduce them to you. They are based out of Nashville. They've been together for quite a while, but they are really growing, and you'll see them, I think, mainstream really soon. But yeah, Eyeliner Royale. And I was watching an episode of Anthony Bourdain, the show on CNN. I forgot the name, because No Reservations was before, and then this one, I forgot the name of it. Anyhow, the last show Anthony Bourdain was working on, I was watching some of that on Netflix. I'm going to go into, what am I going to go? Yeah, I'm going to go into drama right here. Work it in the corner and into the crease. But I watched the episode where he filmed in Nashville, and you can see Matt playing drums. He's in one of the shots. He's playing drums. So I had to show my husband when he come home that Matt was in an episode of Anthony Bourdain, and that was not this. It was season 8. Season 8, episode 2. You can see our friend Matt play drums. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know he had done that. I don't know about our Nashville trip. I can't. We're trying to work it out where we can see almost everybody, all our friends, but that's really hard because we have so many friends in Nashville. And yeah. We'll do what we can do. We'll see. But first and foremost, our host needs to be available. I pulled out those eye things Martha sent me to do my makeup because I wanted to try them. And they tug on the skin. They stick. And they tug pulling off. And I put my foundation on, before I put my eyeshadows on. And it pulled makeup off, and I'm thinking if I didn't have my makeup on, it would have really stuck to my skin, so I'm not going to use those unless I can find another way to use them, but they tugged on my skin, and I don't need to pull on around my eyes any more than I already do. Speaking of that, well, this is going to be up on Friday morning, of course. I will be back at the eye doctor. I went last, was it that Friday, Thursday? Last Thursday to the eye doctor. And I got a different doctor, which I'm okay with that. I told him I didn't care which doctor. This doctor was new to me. I hadn't seen this eye doctor before. And let's say I didn't really hit it off with him. And there's very few people that I don't like, that I don't hit it off with. But I did the preliminary stuff with the lady who's always there. I don't know her name. But then she said, the doctor will be in a moment. She says, I'll leave the door open for you. She says, if you want. I said, yeah, that'd be great. So I can just kind of hear what's going on. So I'm sitting there, doors open, and a lady comes in just to get her prescription. And she says that there's a website, and I'm sorry I didn't write it down, but there's a website that says that they can check your eyes online, and you don't have to have a prescription. They will give you a prescription. This is just for contacts. And yeah, that's weird. But the girl who was did the preliminary stuff on my eyes, she was done with me. She went over and started pulling it up. Well, what does the doctor do? He goes over and stands with her as she's doing that. Okay, you've got a patient waiting. This is something you can check out later. So I was a little perturbed by that. And then, instead of coming into my room, he goes and meets with a rep in the room next to me with the door open so I can hear what's going on. He's talking to a rep. Hello, you've got a patient waiting, you know? Then I'm like, okay, I've been sitting here. My appointment was at 10. She took me back at like 5 minutes after 10. It's now 11:15, and the doctor has not come in. So I walk past her at the computer she's playing with. I said, I'm going to get my phone. If it's going to be much longer, I'm going to, grab my phone. Oh, yeah. So then the doctor comes by, and he says, sorry, Pat, it'll be about 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, first, I don't know you. And you're calling me Pat. My name is Patricia. Okay? It rubbed me wrong. And he said, it'll be 5 minutes. I just have to go dilate someone's eyes. Oh, where he went. It was 25 minutes later, and he comes back. He says, oh, we're going to dilate your eyes? I said, oh, no, we're not. Not today. Because I had a headache by this point. And my husband and son are waiting in the lobby for me because we were going to go do some things after my eye doctor. My eye doctor, I've never been there more than, not even an hour. And it's way over an hour now. And I'm not happy. And then he says, oh, I see some damage. I mean, he's really checking the optic nerve. And I'm like, yes, I know there's damage. It's in my report, in my chart. He says, I see there is, but this is worrying me. And I'm like, so he says, I want to do a field of vision test. I said, well, I've had it done twice. Well, we need to do a field of vision test. I think it's changed. I think your optic nerve's changed. So that's what I'm doing today, Friday. I am doing another field of vision test where your head's like in a box and it's dark and all of a sudden these little lights blink around and you have to, I think it's push buttons. Push, when you see it over here, right here, what I can see, how far I can see. Like, okay, I see my hands right here. Let's see if I can come in. Right here, I see both hands. I don't think there's anything wrong. He says, oh, do you see color out of that eye? I'm like, yeah. I see it just as well as the other eye. I've been through all of this. I know I have damage. He was just, I think it's because he was feeling guilty. I don't know, but I'm going to go and have it done. Just because. But it irked me, it irritated me, and I was not a happy camper. But on a happy note, I ordered new glasses, and I'm getting Tiffany this time. My doctor has stopped carrying, I'm going back in drama, stopped carrying Chanel. And Melody, who is at the front desk, I know Melody. She's great. Melody was like, we stopped carrying Chanel. They weren't selling. I said, do you think it was the cost? Or she says, I don't know if it was the cost or the styles. A lot of people were complaining about the styles that Chanel was sending in, the new styles. They didn't really like them. And so they got rid of them. But she said, oh, we got Tiffany. So she showed me when we first went in, and she says, we got a new shipment of Tiffany in. So when I come out to look at glasses, they had lined up all the Tiffany glasses in front of me. And there was 2 pair I wanted, but I didn't dare buy 2 pair. I don't need 2 pair of glasses. I've got enough. If I can find my other Chanel, I have plenty of glasses. Okay, I'm going to use ColourPop in Valley Girl. And I'm going to put this on my lid. So yeah, that was my eye doctor visit, and I wasn't happy about it. I have been practicing wings. Can you believe it? So I'm going to attempt today to do a little wing on these eyes. And I'm using that marker I got in my last Ipsy, the Jonteblu. So let's see how this is going to go. I want to get good at wings. Okay, let's put some bronzer on. I feel like felt like my mascara was, you know, touching my skin under my eyes. My bronzer. You know what I mean? All my brushes are freshly clean. I washed all my brushes yesterday. I've been putting on makeup more during the week, and I'm having to wash my brushes more often. There we go. Looks good. Now I'm going to use my Essence blush in Satin Coral. I love these little blushes. I might have to. I don't really need any more blushes. No, I don't need to go buy any. I have plenty. I have plenty of stuff. I have tons of stuff. Don't need to buy it. Now, lips. I'm going to use Huda Beauty and Trophy Wife. I've got the liner and the liquid lip. So let me line my lips. Hold on. All right. There we go. I love these Huda Beauty lips. They are a little more liquid than normal liquid lips, if that makes sense. And they smell really good. Alright, that's my look for today. So I hope I haven't bored y'all too much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Thumbs up. Ring the bell if you want to be notified when I put up new videos. If you're new, please leave a comment below and let me know. Just say, hey, first time here, so I can welcome you personally. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.